The third season of Digimon, known for this phrase and this phrase alone. Digimonified. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, hello everybody, my name is Congo Master and welcome to my third season of Digimon Tamers. I know this is a long wait, hopefully someone will actually watch this, but anywho, I'm here to make my third season review. I was trying to make one, but a stupid phone call interfered. Anywho, third season, and because you're wondering, it was just a wrong number. Yeah, it was a freaking wrong number that messed everything up. Anywho, third season, my favorite season of Digimon. The reasoning I like third season, I'll get into that in a minute. But anywho, let's begin, shall we? The season 3. Season 3 is known for many things. Many fans of Digimon don't really like the series at all because we're pretty much like going to a new era, to a new storyline, which many people didn't like. Many people thought it was just copying other famous like animes like Yu-Gi-Oh because it brought in cards. Yeah. Me, I really like Digimon Season 3. It's my favorite. So, naturally... Anywho, let's begin, shall we? Okay, my experience with Season 3. I remember I was watching Season 3 very small of it during my younger years when I was 5, and pretty much every time I get up, I pretty much like just go on the TV, get dressed, eat breakfast, and pretty much just watch a few episodes of Pokemon. I think Destiny Beyond was playing for one morning. Anywho, Season 3. The one thing I remember was the first 2 episodes in the finale of this Season 3 Tamers. Although I never knew what happened. Anywho, let's begin, shall we? So the season basically begins where we got introduced to Takato. That's the boy with the blue shirt right there, with the goggles, with his Digivice, with the blue card. And in case you guys didn't know, that was my icon picture. That was Takato. But yeah, fun fact. Anyway, Takato's basically playing with Kenta and Kenta and don't help me. Yeah, it's only company. Just watch. Kenta. Give me a minute. Kenta and Kazu, guys, that's the name. Anywho, he's very much playing Digimon, which this is one of the reasons why I really like Season 3. In Season 3, Digimon is considered like the most popular franchise in their universe. It's pretty much the equivalent to us with Pokemon freaking being 20 years old now. So naturally, I really like this, and please don't start a Pokemon vs Digimon war base on the comments. Or compare them, please. Just don't. They're both different seasons. The only reason I said Pokemon is more popular than Digimon. Sad. Well, I won't say sadly. Like I like both. Anywho, basically everything in Digimon has everything: cards, toys, games, a show. So yeah, naturally all that good stuff happens. And after they finish playing the game, they head out to school. But before that, Takano found a blue card which he doesn't recognize and tries to scan it. Once he tries to scan it, his little calculator toy thing that he used to play with the Digimon cards basically turns into a Digivice. And it's fun to note, each of the Digivices have a color now. Ever since Season 2, I think many of the Digivices we see from here on out have a color to match with the character. For example, Takano has the red one, which is the one that turned into that right now. I guess it's because mostly what we think about. Let's say. Anywho, other than one happening, Takano arrives late to school and he has to stand outside, which I think is something that in Japan that was what happened. I think, like if Japanese kids are late in those schools in Japan, they had to wait in front, outside the front of the classroom. So while he waits for like his teacher to call him back in, he pretty much just draws on a notebook he has, and pretty much comes up with a new Digimon. And it's fun to know that his teacher says, "What is that? A design for a Halloween costume?" And Takano goes like, "No, it's a Digimon. Don't you know anything?" Which is freaking hilarious and kind of freaking, brave and stupid for Takano to call out a teacher like that. I know for a fact if I was my teacher, I would have just gone in immediate detention. So yeah, that was what happened. That was what happened to Takano. After detention, he pretty much goes back home and pretty much like gets everything ready. And it's fun to know that many people theorize that Takano's teacher was Kari grown up, because in this universe people know about Digimon, and I'm guessing they assume it's because of what happened in the season 1 and 2. But that's false, guys. That's false. Season 1 and 2 is a TV show in season 3. So anywho, after that ends up happening, what ends up happening afterwards is this. When Takano came home, he tries to scan the notebook with Guillomon's info, and when he's about to leave, it starts scanning, and later that night, he finds an egg in the Digivice, and later on when he goes to hang out with the friends, he pretty much, the egg hatched without him even noticing. Which begs the question, how did the egg hatch if Takano never noticed? Don't you think he would have, if I had an egg, I would keep attention to it. But that's me. Anywho, once the egg hatches, he pretty much goes and finds Guillemon, which, in theory, why would you be finding a digital thing? But then again, your Digivice turns into an actual Digivice. Anywho, once he finds Guillemon basically like almost attacks him and pretty much like kills him. It pretty much acts like a dog, which is funny because what happens next, he tries to hide Guillemon from his parents by having a big box. And while he's doing that, he pretty much like sleeps with Guillemon, like he pretty much like sets up a bed, and it's fun to know there was this little scene where Guillemon like saying Takato-man, and pretty much Taka's like, "No, I'm your tamer, Takato," and it's fun to know, and Guillemon goes on like Takato man, which is hilarious. Anyway, that later, like his father sees him sleeping next to Guillemon, but he doesn't know that's Guillemon. He thinks he's a dog or something. So he probably tries to convince his wife, Takato's mother, to like say like being all like, "Hey, Takato's an only child, so let's let him keep the animal he found." And Takato's mother being like, "No, we can't have Takato taking strays from the street and being like, okay, you can keep it, because then he'll be doing it all the time." Which I don't know how many random Digimon you find on the street. But anyway, after that, basically what ends up happening is basically after that, Takato's mom is like saying, "I don't know whatever you have, but whatever you have, you gotta take it back." So after that, basically Takano tries to go to school, keeping Guillemon in some place, in some alley, but Guillemon escapes. Like he just tries to use a box. Not gonna work with someone who can literally breathe fire. Anywho, once that winds up, Guillemon winds up going to Takato's school and pretty much like tries to play interrupting like a teacher like scolding its kid, leaving claw marks, talking to the principal. So anywho, after that, we basically like meet up with Rika, and she wants to fight against Takano and Guillemon with her Digimon Venomon, which is the fox. Anyway, once that winds up going down, Henry and Terriermon comes in and stops the fight, and this is where we find, and this, as we didn't know this, but this is our team. This is our Digidestins, or at least the original 3. I call them the original 8 because, well, they are the original 3. They were the original 3 because they fought in many Digimon fights throughout most of the first season, or early of the 3rd season. anyway, after all that was said and done, they find a hideout, which from here on out was pretty much like they're like, I guess you could say, mini headquarters to talk about Digimon stuff. I don't know. Anyway, after that, long story short, that's pretty much our team. So naturally, this is what's going to go down each episode, and I guess it's one of the reasons why people don't like it. It's pretty much like, I guess you could say, it's a kind of slice in life anime. I guess you can say. I don't know, slice of life, the giant monsters fighting each other. That slice of life anime. I don't know, but anyway, many people didn't like this because I guess they weren't adventuring throughout a world. Like they weren't like adventuring. I'm assuming that's one of the reasons why many people didn't like this, because we were used to, like, the first season, the original season, it gets sent to a wormhole to another universe. The second season, they're in school, but they still went to the Digimon to stop the Digimon Emperor. Third season, they're stuck on planet Earth, so they have nowhere to go. At least for a while. Me personally, I really like this. Like this would have been freaking weird if if the originals did this. Technically they did, but they didn't have Digimon appear every episode in the real world. Because then you will see moments say the Digimon just go off and it's like a Digimon is attacking the park at night. So either two things have to happen. Either one, Henry has to sneak out, or come up with some random excuse, but I gotta go pick up something from Henry's place. I'll be back in a few minutes, and I come back in 2 hours. Stuff like that would have been fun to see. I think it actually did happen. I don't know. I seen Digimon Tamers a few months ago. Finished up all before Netflix got rid of it. So anywho, after that, basically, we meet up with Impmon. Impmon is an interesting character and a really lovable anti-hero. At first, he was annoying, but later on he did develop and pretty good. Although it took him a long time. So yeah, let's talk about the characters first. Let's talk about Takato. Takato. Well, what I know about Takato, all I know is this: he loves blue shirts. No, I'm just kidding. No, Takato is basically technically our leader, the leader of the Tamers, but technically there is no leader actually here. There's just a bunch of teams. There's just a bunch of kids got together and decides to fight off against Digimon. For why not? I thought it was kind of interesting because, in a way, we didn't have a leader per se. As much as I really liked Takata, I didn't consider him the leader. I guess he would be considered the leader because he has goggles. And I'm pretty sure you guys are, what just because he has goggles? That's not anything. Digimon is known for this. Whoever was the goggles is the leader. He pretty much takes care of everybody and makes sure everything's alright. At least that's what Tai said in the second season. Because when he said as we all know, the leader of the Digidensen has to wear the goggles, which I thought was pretty cool. So, since Takato's okay, let me refresh that. Okay, Takano, at first, he may seem like an average kid, just the average kid, loves Digimon, plays with his friends, hangs out with his friends, sometimes does his homework, has a giant pet lizard, they can breathe fire. So yeah, it's fun to know that his parents actually have their own. Takano's home is a bakery, which I thought was pretty. You got me. That's kind of cool. Your parents are bakers. You live in a bakery. Just imagine try coming home with the smell of good bread and pastries, and tell me you're not gonna get hungry for that. Yeah. Anywho, Takano was just a really good character. I really enjoyed his character development, especially in one scene during the. As I like to call this the Digiworld arc of the Digiworld saga. please don't kill me for using those terms. Anywho, but yeah, I really like that moment. And so let's talk about Henry, Takaro's first Digimon owning friend, I guess you could say. Henry actually has an interesting background because he's the very first one to get his Digimon partner. Yeah. Henry got his Digimon partner Toyomon after one Christmas where his dad got him a Digimon video game, which is weird because his dad works with the Digimon company. So it was weird when he says this though. It took me 2 hours. I had to wait 2 hours in line to get that for you. I'm like, wouldn't you get these first? You do work with Digimon. I guess the Digimon and Digimon gaming don't go together. Or basically not made from the same company, so I guess that's why. Anywho, so later that night, Henry actually wants to train up the weakest, which I thought was interesting. He wants to train up the weakest so he could become stronger. Because I know he had like options like Ogremon, Leomon, Agumon. I think there's too much about around those terms. Sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah. Henry's father worked for the Digimon company. That's pretty interesting. On the fact that you get free Digimon stuff. Anyway, it's fun to know this. Oh yeah, I was talking about it. So basically, he chose the Terriermon because it pretty much shows that Terriermon did look kind of weak, but it was pretty strong. In fact, so Terriermon was fighting against Ogremon, and it looked like the Terriermon was done for until Henry did some stat boosting with his Digimon cards. And at that point on, Terriermon Digimon into Gargomon, which again, Henry's Digimon was the first one to Digivolve too. In theory, well, in chronological order, I guess you could say. Because in the show, the first one to Digivolve was I think it was Guilmon, I think it was Guilmon. I don't know. Anywho, yeah, Terriermon was the first one to evolve into Gargomon. Once it evolved to Gargomon, we actually saw something interesting. Gargomon couldn't control its own Digivolution. Well, basically in this new form because it was a new form and it felt more powerful. So naturally, it was burning out a lot of energy, and Henry started like saying, "No, Terriermon, stop!" Up to the point where he was legit crying, like he actually felt like this was a real thing, and it became a real thing when it came out the computer screen. So yeah, that's how they met. And Rika and Renamon. I'm being honest, I forgot how they met. But regardless, anywho, Rika. Rika comes from an interesting backstory. Her mother, she lives with her mother and grandmother, and oh yeah, I also want to point out this. Don't know why, but I gotta. Henry lives with his mother, father, little sister Susie, and older brother and sister. You're asking yourself, Chicago Master. Why are you bringing up Henry's family? Did they do anything interesting? His father and sister did something interesting. The rest were just there to be there. I don't know why either. Anywho, Rika lives with her mother and grandmother, and her father is nowhere to be found because her mother and father got in a divorce. So we pretty much tell this is why Rika's like this, because her father was around after the divorce. So yeah. So yeah, I'm guessing she really misses her father. I would say so. And I guess this is why she doesn't want to be like her mother, because I'm assuming her mother's the reason the divorce happened. At least that's why I'm doing that. Please don't kill me, people. Please don't kill me in the comments. Anywho, what ends up happening is basically that Rika actually earned herself a good reputation known as the Digimon Queen because she competed in the Digimon tournament and won first place. So yeah, naturally she got a bunch of like fame for pretty much being the strongest Digimon player in the town. So naturally, that was pretty interesting. I think the way that she met her Renamar was that after she won the tournament, she was just like, I guess she was just mad for something. I don't know what. And then her Digivice pretty much showed up, and Renamar was there. Yeah. Talk about past anime partner meetings. I guess it was that. I don't know. Anywho, after that, basically, Renamon and Rika became partners. So yeah, those are the three main ones. I'm not going to be talking about detail to detail about the stuff that happened throughout the arcs. I'm going to be talking about the major points. Like, for example, Guilmon going out of patrol, or basically can't Digimon after the first Digivolved. It took him a long time to like get Guilmon to like, or Groundmon to Digivolve. So yeah, we saw a bunch of development with these guys and actually taking on the enemy. And there was this one person known as Yomaki. Yomaki runs the Pokemon not Pokemon company. I guess the Digimon database, like pretty much making sure no Digimon comes into the human world. Yeah, good work, bud. Good work. Anywho, what ends up happening after that? Basically, this is what they're trying to be done. In episode 2, the Digidestin take on whatever Digimon appears. At least after they all team up. Like, it took Rika and Renama a lot of convincing to team up with them. So after that, basically, it's fun to know some of the Digimons they fought. And I'm gonna talk about the very first main villains. Yes, villains. The villains were based on the Chinese calendar. Basically, like, if you guys ever went to Chinese food or read anything about Chinese stuff, you know about like the year of the animals. Like, for example, like year of the snake, year of the mouse, year of the horse, year of the bunny rabbit, stuff like that. All the devas were based on that. The devas are basically this. The devas are pretty much like powerhouse virus Digimon. So yeah, and it's fun to know there was this one Digimon that can mean everything, known as Calamon. Calamon is that adorable one you see flying above Terriermon, which has a triangle on his head. Conspiracy? Nah, the triangle's at first you see Calamon, you think, this is just a cute one, doesn't want to fight, and yeah, it doesn't want to fight. But Calamon has a special power to make Digimon Digivolve. I'm guessing this is another reason why people didn't like it. I think this is another reason why people didn't like it, because there was a Digimon that could literally make any Digimon Digivolve. But they need a special card to Digivolve. Actually, I now remember this show. Calamon helped to make them Digivolve to the ultimate forms. Because I remember, like, they just needed the cards. Only when they had the Matrix Digivolve, we see Calamon basically, like, growing the triangle thing. So yeah, I guess that's why they needed that. Anywho, all that good said and done, all the friends I know, they have Digimons, so yeah. It's also fun to know about Jerry, actually. Jerry got her own Digimon partner, and it's Leomon. Yeah. Freaking amazing, you ask me. Having a freaking flying swordsman as your Digimon partner, my goodness. So yeah, after that was said and done, what ends up happening is this. There was this one Deva that was too powerful for our heroes. And this Deva was the pig, like the pig from the counter. This Deva was so powerful, nothing they did anything. And if I don't know, before this episode happened, they all had conflicts with with loved ones. Like for example, like for Takato, his mother wanted him to study because he's going to be in college. Oh, he's in 7th grade, by the way. I don't know why she's bothering about college when he's like barely 12. There was some earthquakes happening earlier in this an episode, so Henry wants to go just investigate this, and he had to bring Terriermon, but Susie didn't want him, and Henry got mad because, you know, little siblings always grabs everything and doesn't want to let go. And Rika was out shopping with her grandmother to get some new gear. And she pretty much like says, "Mind, leave me alone, I'm gonna hang out with friends." Pretty much. Honestly, I think the theories are like it was Rika's mother who caused her father to leave. I think are kind of true. I don't know what the theory was. Anywho, basically they're all hanging out, and this is what Henry actually found out about the Devas. He actually even states it reminds me of the Devas with the calendar. So naturally, that winds up happening, and we see them trying to take on this boar, the giant pig Digimon. This Digimon was so powerful, this city had to evacuate. Freaking evacuate. Yeah, just think about that. The city had to evacuate because of this thing destroying the town. Eventually they managed to beat him, but until the monkey Deva, I forgot what all the names are. There was only one you know the name of, and it becomes part of the main cast. Basically, the monkey kidnaps Calmon and heads to the Digiworld. And either that, our heroes have to find a way to get into the Digiworld. So naturally they will try to find everywhere until they found out it was in the hideout all along. So after that, basically they all decide, okay, Operation Save Calamon to go, guys, let's go. And this will Takano had to tell his parents that he's going away for a while and he doesn't know when he'll be back or if he'll be coming back. I say this because they don't even know if they will be able to come back home. But they assume they can because how else are the Digimon coming to their world? So at first his mother like saying, you can't go, you have school, it's dangerous, let some adult take care of this, but you're not going. Takano's dad actually convinces her to go because he knows this is serious. Like the only ones to stop this are the kids because they have Digimon. And Takano's mom being like the whole mom, like, no, he's my little baby, I can't let him go. And it's fun to know that Guilmon talks to his father, and Guilmon like saying, hey, if you promise to take care of my son, I'll make you the giant Guilmon bread you ever wanted. Which is funny because a few episodes ago, Kenta and Kazu were talking to his dad and making Guilmon bread when he didn't know what's a Guilmon. So yeah, that was fun to note. So now that Takano knows his family is on his side, he will do everything he can to protect them. And right before they leave, Henry actually shows Suzy that Terriermon's a real thing. She flips in a good way. She pretty much hugs that thing so tight, I think she was about to pop his head off. And Rika pretty much wears a dress, but she was talking to Renamon first. And pretty much her grandma pretty much came by and saw Renamon, and at first they were scared, but Rika's grandma says, you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. I knew Rika had someone to protect her. So yeah, oh grandma. I don't know. Anywho, and Jerry, Kazu, and Kenta are coming for the ride too. It's fun to know they wrote some goodbye notes when they had to stay after school because they wanted to be with Takano when he got detention again. Jesus, Takano, you want to go to college yet you can't stay out of detention. Anywho, so yeah, fun note. The night before they had to leave, Jerry went out to get some juice for Leomon, and her father like saying, shouldn't you be in bed by now? Right now in achievements, like, I'm just getting juice this, cookies next, and you know the generic that stuff like going on. Like, don't spill anything up there, all right? And this is where they talk about the digital world. And long story short, the next day comes around, they're all set to go. Your monkey shows up, giving them a like this communication thing. Like I want to say it's a cell phone, but it's not. More or less, it's a communicator, kind of like to send emails, stuff like that. So they're pretty much all set to go, and once they go into the digital world, it is a harsh place there. Yeah. They meet Miramon, which is the freaking giant fire thing. Pretty much, Miramon talks about like how his experience in the digital world, and until one night a bunch of like these small Digimon pretty much stampedes, killing Miramon. So yeah. Anywho, all that was said and done. Oh, also, fun note, Ipman was trying to fight against the host dealer, but he disappeared afterwards. No one knows what happened to him. Like, I'm dead serious, no one knows what happened to him. They don't even mention him. Kinda cool if you ask me. Anywho, after that was said and done, the adventure in the digital world pretty much begun, and Kenta and Kazuo have a goal to find their own Digimon partners, which I guess is okay, but they're on a mission. They're not here to goof off. So after long story short, they meet up with a bunch of other Digimons. Like, I know there was this one. Eventually, one of them, they pretty much like during the entire arc, they get separated a lot. So yeah, basically at first it was Rika, Kenta, and Kazu, and then later on Guillemon and Henry, Terramon, and Henry got split up, or got separated by the group. But yeah, anywho, eventually we actually meet someone interesting. He goes by the name of Rio. Who's Rio? Rio was known to be the world's greatest Digimon player. He disappeared a while ago, and no one has seen him since. This is where Rio has been. He's been in the Digiworld with his Digimon, Monodramon. I think that's the name of the final one. I know Monodramon was the rookie form, so I'm just gonna say Monodramon from here on out. Monodramon is interesting because this thing wants to fight all the time. Like, this thing wants to kill. This thing is not gonna play around. And it's freaking awesome how Rio is able to control this giant beast of a dangerous Digimon. So yeah, and Rio and not Rio. Kazu keeps on like saying, if you compete, I'm pretty sure you could have beaten Rika here with ease. Well, Rika got freaking pissed off. Thanks a lot, Kenta. So she pretty much goes on her own and all that good stuff. Once that ends up happening, basically everyone meets up with one another. I think it's on this time that Kazu. Who was it again? It was one of those two. I get those names mixed up all the time. The one with the hat. I think his name was. It was Kazu. It was Kazu. Kazu basically gets his very first gets his Digimon partner, which was Machine Dramon. Machine Dramon Digimon was Andromon, but thanks to major damages, it had to de-Digivolve to conserve its energy, and now it became Machine Dramon. They had to fight up against this one snake-like Digimon, which wasn't one of the Devas. It was pretty much like the ruler of that said area, where it was commanding a bunch of Gekomon to make milkshakes for it. So yeah. After that, long story short, many things wind up happening. Like a bunch of crazy stuff happening. Eventually Susie went to the park for her dad to pretty much have fun, and then Yomaki comes around and pretty much talks about what's going on in the digital world right now. Until eventually a digital portal opens up and takes Susie. Once Susie goes into the digital world, I thought she was gonna cry, but this girl knows everything. Well, not everything, but she knows her surroundings and she stays calm. Eventually, she meets up with another neighbor known as Lothmon. And at first, Lothmon didn't want to do anything with her until she found out that, long story short, she was a diva, but she became good after meeting Susie. Sorry. At this point in time, Henry and Takano meet Susie, but not before talking to one of the developers of Digimon, who was in a semi-sleep-like simulation, where he was pretty much talking about the origin of Digimon, like how it came to be. Which I'm kind of curious if that's pretty much how Digimon came to be. Like I'm legitimately debating if like that's what the creators did, just to put like a little nod to their history. But anywho, after that was said and done, the guy pretty much disappeared, which symbolized him waking up. So naturally, after that was said and done, they pretty much head off and pretty much like wait for the others and all that good stuff. Eventually, once they all meet, they actually are in front of the area where they had to fight off against the final Deva. I don't know what the Deva was based on. They only fought the rooster. I think it was the ox. I don't know. I think they fought all of them. They just had to deal with the final boss, or like or basically take on the boss of the Devas. Anywho, long story short, a lot more Digimons, it pretty much becomes a Lockmon, pretty much Lockmon's rookie form, which looks a lot like Terriermon, only Lockmon looks chocolate and has 3 spikes on her head. Pretty much brown. Like, she looks like a chocolate bunny, but crying out loud, people. A digital chocolate bunny, which now, talking about chocolate, I want some chocolate now. I'll probably go get some later. Anywho, what ends up happening is this. Ipmon appears. But it's not Ipmon. It's Beelzemon. And Beelzemon appeared many times, foreshadowing the fight. What ends up happening is this. Ipmon gave up his like good side to get a Digivolution. To much get payback to all the people who pretty much diss him. Or pretty much pushed him and shoved him and pretty much picked on him. I think. So yeah, Beelzemon appears and pretty much everyone goes into battle mode. Eventually none of them can stop them until Beelzemon pretty much freaking kills Leomon. Yeah. It killed Leomon. Which pretty much traumatizes Jerry because she lost her Digimon partner. After that, Takano gets freaking raged. He was mad beyond belief. Eventually telling Grandma or Metal Grandma, I forgot what the ultimate form of Grandma was. Pretty much like slice him, rip him in half, kill him, all that stuff. Jesus, Takano wants to kill Beelzemon. Eventually, all his rage builds up too much, and Guilmon dog digivolves into this giant freaking serpent like monster behemoth. At first, this was bad. Takano is filled with rage. And when he's filled with rage, Guilmon feels rage because they both are on sync. So eventually, Beelzemon gets control of the muted Growlmon and pretty much almost kills him. Eventually, Takano calms down and pretty much apologizes to Guilmon. Eventually, this is where something interesting happens. Guilmon and Takano fused. No, not fusion, although it's freaking close. What ends up happening is this. They biomerged. Biomerge is basically the DNA Digivolution, only human and Digimon fused. This is one of the major reasons why I really like Digimon Tamers. Here, the Digidesins have bigger roles. The reason I say this, I'll get into that in a little bit, but long story short, here they have bigger roles, and this is what I'm talking about. This is one of the major roles they had in. So once they Digimon into Galacmon, which is a freaking cool looking knight. So a fight begins, and everyone's like going, where's Staccato? Where's Staccato? Until we don't know, until they realize both Digimon and Staccato fuse. Eventually, Digimon overwhelms Byakugan, up to the point where he's about to finish him until Galacmon sees Jerry and pretty much like says, Byakugan, I'll spare you, but only because she was here. Because yeah, I think the last thing Jerry wants to see is another death happen. So yeah, after that, Digimon and Staccato fuse back and they head off to fight up against the final boss. However, Susie's freaking scared and Henry's kind of mad at her because he's like saying, "What are you even doing here? You shouldn't even be here." All that good stuff. So yeah. Kenta and Kazu decide to stay behind and take care of both Jerry and Susie because Jerry is freaking traumatized. And Susie's scared. So the original three go in. Once they go in, they fight against the final boss, only to prevent everything happening. Basically, they can't beat this final boss, and it's fun to note this. Toryumon's ears start to like static a little bit. The static means that he's running out of energy. Eventually, the static becomes so bad that Henry doesn't want him to fight anymore. Eventually, they both biomerge into Mega Gogdramon, I think the name was. And pretty much put an end to that fight. After that, pretty much all said good and dandy. And this is, well, now I remember now. The final boss was a phoenix. Like, this I'll get into later. Anywho, after that, give me a minute. Let me just recall my head. Okay, so I tried to look it up. I think the name was Zuzanamon. If you all recall, in season 2, the Digidestineds there met up with Zuzanamon after Black Hole Greymon almost tried to destroy the final stone. I forgot what it's called. Basically, Zuzanamon appears and stops the Phoenix Digimon. I finally remember that. And this will, and if you all recall, Zuzanamon states there are 4 other like Digimon that are like him. I forgot what it's called. Basically, of the North, Wind, South, and West. In this season, we see all 4 of them. Like if I recall, we meet all 4 of them. And long story short, Zuzanamon basically talks about like how there's a much greater threat appearing soon in the forms of a virus known as the D-Reaper. The D-Reaper is by far the most interesting thing ever. In all of Digimon, we've seen them take on like evil Digimon tame Digidestins and bring back other Digimon. I'm still confused why that my own one had to come back again. The second season. Anywho, but this is interesting. They had to fight off against the D-Reaper. The D-Reaper is basically this freaking blob substance. And pretty much it can destroy everything if it touches it in the digital world. Like if a Digimon gets touched by it, the Digimon disappears forever. So naturally they try to stop it. However, what ends up happening is basically they try to go down and see how to stop it. However, nothing seems to be working. Eventually, Rika and Renamon Digimon into Shakuramon, I think the name was. I think. I don't remember. Basically, Rika and Renamon's bio-merged Digimon, Digivolution. So now, after one said and done, basically they all meet up with one another. And basically they had to go back home because the legendary... I'm just going to call them legendary Digimon. The legendary Digimon pretty much state, this is our fight, not yours. You all must head home now. So naturally they all had to get back home. Eventually they tell your market they need to go back home, and around this time they finished making a machine known as the Ark. The Ark is basically this giant digital lifeboat where they had to go in and they'll take care of everything. It's at this point in time where they all try to go in at all at once. However, Rika and Renamon had to go and grab someone else. Eventually, they find Ifmon because Rika wants to give Ifmon one final chance. I don't know why it freaking killed Leomon. Anywho, what ends up happening is basically like Takaro doesn't want to leave left, but however, the Ark starts moving and he tries to run forward. However, Geomon shouts to the Ark to stop. Once it stops, and it gives enough time for Takaro to get back in. So eventually, Rika and Rio meet up and pretty much head into the Ark too. Eventually, the Ark gets kind of overloaded with all of them. So eventually, something interesting happens. Kenta gets a Digimon partner out of his pocket. I'm assuming it was from one of those like little like building scenes called Nomis. I think that's what they call them, Nomis. Basically, like these little angel-like Digimon that aren't Digimon. They're just data looking like fairies, I guess. I'm assuming one of them snuck in and pretty much transformed into a marine Angemon, which is a mega. At first, it doesn't look much because it looks kind of cute and more like the rookies or in training. But no, this is a mega. And it pretty much gives out power to give the Ark more energy. Eventually, once the Ark manages to get all of them back home, where all the families and loved ones are waiting for them. Except for Jerry's. Because her father is gonna be the most coldest father ever. Ever. Her father says she got home, she found, if she wanted to go on an adventure, she could find her way home. You know, like, Jesus Christ, dude, it's your daughter crying out loud. Eventually, they found out they were like at another relative home in another area. So Takano decides to take her to her home or to her family. And during the train ride, he's pretty much like saying like, "I had a great time hanging with you in the digital world," and pretty much like confesses his feelings to her. Well, she hears nothing of it because at this point in time, Jerry is being controlled by the D-Reaper right now. Yeah. So once she gets home, all the goods and done, Takaro's waiting at the train station. However, the D-Reaper made it to Tokyo. Like, it made it to planet Earth. So now it's their problem now. Once Rio gets home, it's pretty much press media everywhere after trying to figure out what happened. But Rio's dad stops them and they head home, finding out about the D-Reaper. And after that gets done, evacuation happens in the city. Once that winds up happening, basically the Digimon get into work. They get into work good. And it's pretty much like they have hard times trying to take this down. They try everything, nothing works. Eventually, the D-Reaper is too powerful, so they had to move out. Only until all of them decide to head back home for one final attempt. Jerry's inside the D-Reaper along with Calamon. Brielzamon wanted to go back to pretty much show Jerry that he's so sorry for what he did to Leomon and shows that he cares about her a lot. However, Beelzemon gets caught, and it's fun to note that Beelzemon has two Digimon tamers, a brother and a sister who can't fight a long time, but ever since Ifmon left, they pretty much learned to get along. So I don't know what's nice. And it's fun to note that Ifmon, this shows how much developed Ifmon states. Ifmon pretty much, the little boy gives Ifmon a water gun, a water pistol more like, and pretty much just starts running in for it, and when he Digivolves, that pistol turns into a cool machine gun, and Beelzemon goes like, thanks! I think his name was Marco. Thanks, Marco! I'm sure this is going to come in handy nicely. That was pretty funny and that was pretty nice of Beelzebub because he took it out of kindness because he knows for a fact that nothing was gonna work against with a freaking water gun. What's a water gun gonna do? That's not Pokemon related. So that was a really nice development for Edmond. At first he didn't like humans, and now he really cares about them so much the fact that he's willing to risk his life to protect them. So yeah, I thought that was nice. It's fun to know that Rio and Marshmallow can combine watch too. I don't know how they were able to. And anyway, what ends up happening is basically the final fight begins and everyone goes at it with everything they got. They got against the D-Reaper, which pretty much manifests into this weird looking Jerry like evil thing. So what ends up happening is basically like I think Guilmon digivolves into like a new form. Not another Digivolution form. Another form of Gallimon. Pretty much destroying the D-Reaper permanently. And once that was said and done, Jerry and Gallimon was saved and everyone's good and dandy. Until all the Digimon start disappearing. Like they start like disintegrating, kind of. And pretty much Henry said like saying it was the only way like to make sure everyone was safe or to stop the D-Reaper. And at this point in time when we found out the Digimon had to go back to the digital world. So it was a really emotional goodbye for everybody and all their Digimon, including Henry and Guilmon, because Guilmon didn't start out in the digital world, he started in the human world. So once that's said and done, all the Digimon head back to their home in the digital world. Life goes back to normal until Takano goes back to the hideout where they used to hang out with Guilmon, I guess, and finds out the portal is there. There's pretty much hints at a sequel, and that's pretty much how the third season ends. On that note, oh boy, this season, oh my goodness, this season was amazing. I really enjoyed this season, guys. Like, this is by far my favorite season of Digimon. Why, you may ask? The Digi-Dancers have bigger roles, like I said. What I mean by this is that when you stop and think about it, the Digi-Dancers only serve to Digivolve their Digimon. After that, they just go hide or right on the Digimon where the battle happens. And when you really stop and think about it, the Digimon stop the evil enemy. Like the Digi-Dancers, all they do is Digivolve and that's it. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, it's just that I want more from that, and season 3 brought it by bringing the Digimorphication cards. Like the whole gimmick is that they boost their stats by using the Digimon, the cards, and go on like Digimodify, speed increase, or stuff like that. Like, I really like that. They use other Digimon moves to their advantages and all that great stuff, and not to mention the biomerging. In terms of my favorite character of all this is Jerry. She brought out Tamers. At first I was gonna give this placement to Henry or Rika, but out of season 3's cast, Jerry's my favorite one. Because technically she became the villain in a way and she didn't mean to. And I'm sure you guys will ask yourself, well, how did she become the villain? The reason because she became a villain is because when Leon died, it brought her back horrifying memories of when her mother died. Yeah, her mother died, unfortunately, when she was very young. And her father remarried to another woman who gave birth to Jerry's half-brother, I guess you could say. I don't know what the terms are there. I guess I could say half-brother or just brother, I don't know. Anywho, that one ends up, that what happened. And Jerry didn't want to do anything to them. She was going to be connected to this woman because she wasn't her mother. Like, she loved her mother for as much time she remembers her. And she didn't want to get connected with this woman, her stepmother, basically. I'm hoping after this she actually did, because, my god. But yeah, after losing Leomon, remembering that, and basically almost ending the entire world, then she came back to normal and everything went happy. Like, I'm glad this happened. I'm glad Jerry's alright. I'm pretty sure if they ever do a second season of Tamers, I would not doubt that. I would really like that. As long as they do something good. I don't want them to copy paste what happened here. Like, I want them to come with original content themselves for the third season. But yeah, third season was really cool. We got introduced to a new cast. Something I really liked. And something I'm hoping Pokemon could do when Ash wins a league. Come on, Ash, just win one league so we can move on with you. But regardless, anywho, my god, really, and not just Jerry, a bunch of characters developed really well, like Mika. She started out as this cool, as this really mean and aggressive girl, to this now sweet, well, not sweet, more or less, she gained friends, and she learned to get along with them. She's still mean and pushy from time to time, but only when she has to be. Not to mention, when Jerry came around, she pretty much had to be like friends with her because she understands what she went through. Well, technically not, because her father's still alive. I know in the movie, I assumed her father died because she was alive, but now she think of it. Anywho, but yeah, I really like Mika too. Like, both Jerry and Mika really stable tamers. Not to mention Henry having a father who works in the Digimon company. That was freaking amazing because Henry's father knew what to do. Like, I really liked the third season, and Edmond was a really well done character and anti-hero who became, well, part of the main cast now. So yeah, third season brought in a lot of cool stuff, not to mention Rio. Like, who would have thought there would be another human in the digital world before our heroes here? But I do relate to Kano. I'm pretty sure many of us could relate to him when we made about like Digimon, Pokemon, or even Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters when we were kids. So yeah, third season is my favorite one. Not to mention all that really cool funny stuff that happened earlier in the season. But yeah, third season did really good stuff. Like, for example, it brought in like home. Like, our heroes went on a journey. Like, they weren't like forced to go on a journey. They had to stay home and pretty much protect the city from Digimon. Cause yeah, because in first season I did like how they had to go traveling in the digital world to stop the evil foes. And in second season, I'm not even gonna start with the second season. But yeah, in third season it was really good. It's also fun to note, in this season the digital world goes on the same time link as in the human world. Like, say, a day passes in the digital world, a day passes in the human world. So yeah, I'm really glad they didn't the whole like, time in the digital world goes beyond. Because I want to know how long is in the digital world from here? Like, what is it, a day, like it's like a day, a minute, or something like that? I don't know. They need to clarify that thing, because that's what I want to know. But yeah, I also like all the like cool mini callbacks. Like, I know during most of season 3, the voice for like going on like, what would the Digidesert do next? Find out next time on Digimon Digital Monster. The voice was Davis's voice. Like, I recognize that voice, even though I don't like Davis that much. I recognize that voice, and I really appreciate it. Not to mention how they made so many callbacks to the first 2 seasons. Like, for example, when Takato was drawing up Guilmon, he was like saying, I'm gonna make one that's way cooler than Agumon. Or when the guy said how how one guy on how a guy pretty much said how Rika looked cuter than Kari. That was freaking amazing. And not to mention when Takara talked to his dad about if there was Digimon when he was a kid, he said no, we never had the TV show or the games or everything, which I thought was freaking amazing because yeah, this is like our dimension. If Digimon could be as close as the real world, Third season will by far be the closest one. You know, just knowing all the monsters rampaging through town. But yeah, I just really like Third season. Third season brought in a lot of cool stuff, kept some interesting things, and pretty much made its own series. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say for Third season. My favorite season overall. Next time we come back is my second favorite season, Digimon Frontier. And hopefully that review will come out the same year as this one. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you're a Digimon fan, let me know what is your favorite season of the Digimon seasons. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.